Hello and welcome to another vlog on this channel. Welcome here once again. Welcome here. If you've not subscribed, kindly do. It's free. Just click the subscribe button. If you're a subscriber, thank you for being here. Today I'm going to be sharing on a topic, and I'm going to be reflecting back on the previous topic I have taken on people pleasing and boundaries. And there's going to be a relation between this topic and that topic. However, this topic is meant to be an educational video if you are someone that cannot relate. But if you are someone that can relate, it's going to be a validating video. In all, I want to, and I'll always give my disclaimer, I'm not yet a licensed psychologist. So whatever I'm sharing is not meant to say this is how exactly it must be. But I'm sharing from my experience, from what I have experienced. I'm a doctor, quite alright, but at the same time, I like to also be clear on where my limit is. If I'm going to be a licensed psychologist in the future, that would be great, but for now I'm not. However, I still want this to be educational in order for anybody, like I said, that cannot relate to what I share, to actually have some insight to it. Now, in the vlog I did about people pleasing, I shared that I struggled, and I sometimes still struggle with the desire to people please. And the thing is that the desire to please people does not come from a healthy source. For me, while growing up, I struggled so hard with being understood. I realized that, I could say something and people around me would not understand what I'm trying to say. And that led me to be an over explainer. I take my time. People close to me know I can take my time to explain something as long as you understand what I'm trying to say. And just to avoid that. Also, while growing up, because also, I struggled with this feeling misunderstood. I really did not want to have issues with people, and that really made me to try so hard to avoid issues with people. Unfortunately, that did not work because the more I even tried, the more I was still having to resolve issues with people, and that was not a very pleasant experience for me. So I tried so hard to find a way in all, for people to have good words about me and all of that. But as I've grown older, I've realized that that is not something that I can have complete control over. And the other part of it is that I'm someone that likes to be honest with how I feel. And I realize that people sometimes are not comfortable with honesty. And if you really want to express yourself, like about how you feel about something, or if you want to resolve certain issues, you have to solve issues. So I've had to appreciate the fact that I need to know how to balance knowing how to resolve issues and knowing that I can't please everyone. Like some people are going to just have issues with you. That's life. You have to deal with that. And although I don't advocate being the toxic person, although I don't advocate being the person that goes looking for problems or creating problems, one aspect about life is that we are going to have to resolve issues with people, and we need to know how best we can. And also, you can't please everybody, quite alright. Now, in that vlog that I shared about people pleasing and boundaries, please kindly go share. You go and watch that vlog after this one. The truth about life is that as long as you set boundaries, some people are going to be displeased with your boundaries that you have set. So boundaries are set in order for you to have healthy relationships with people, and some people are certainly going to fight the boundaries that you have created. They would really try so hard to trample on those boundaries, but it is your responsibility to stand on the boundaries that you have created, because they are essentially they express to people what you consider as your value system. So if you value yourself enough, you would not allow people to continually disrespect your boundaries, because that is your value system. So one of the things that I've had to continually deal with is being firm on my boundaries, not just setting boundaries and let them go, like being firm on boundaries and accepting the truth that not everybody would appreciate those boundaries I set. Some people would really want so hard to disrespect those boundaries. In the first place, you need to have boundaries. And that's one of the things with people pleasing, is that sometimes you don't come to the realization that you actually have to set healthy boundaries with yourself and others. Now, down to the topic that I shared today. While growing up, I really wanted so hard to be the kind of person that people could relate to. I really wanted so hard to be the kind of person that people are comfortable with sharing things with. And I got to experience that, and I still get to experience that. I've had several experiences where I meet people that I've never known, sharing things about themselves that are very deep. And I'm like, do you know me? Why are you so comfortable sharing such things with me? And one of the most common comments I've had about myself from people is like, I feel so comfortable with you. I know it's as I've known you for a long time. And I don't know if it's because I listen to when they speak, or if there's just something they sense about me that makes them comfortable. But I know that usually made me feel so validated. Like while growing up, it was something I always wanted. But then I've had to realize that that desire has not always come from a healthy place. It has come from the need to feel like, okay, oh, I'm adding some value from people, and I'm like, I'm actually doing something very great. And I've had to learn that being a safe place in person, or being a safe space, means different things for different people. For some people, being a safe space means that they can trauma dump on you at any point. Like they can just drop anything on you. And sometimes, even if you're in a close relationship with someone, or if you are consider somebody as a friend or as an acquaintance, they feel they can just only dump on you. They can't contribute to you. And as long as you're in a relationship with somebody and you also don't feel very comfortable to share what you're going through, at some point you are going to be drained. So, in as much it is good that people can feel comfortable sharing things with you, there are also some things that your boundaries, the boundaries that you have set, will regulate some certain kind of content that you receive. For some people, being a safe space means that they can just do whatever they like to you. Like they don't realize that, oh, more this girl will not accept this thing. This is not okay. I shouldn't do it to her. And I agree with the fact that we actually set the tone to how people treat us. But the truth is that not all the time. Some people are just don't have sense. Some people always want to treat you bad. That is their own problem. But sometimes the level of respect that we can also experience from people can also come from the way we've shown them how to treat us, by the things that we have accepted, by the things that we've accommodated. And certain experiences that I've had even in recent times made me, due to some certain things I allowed from the beginning, made me to have some very uncomfortable and unpleasant experiences because of that. And at the end of the day, when I could reflect back on why did this person treat me this way, like this is somebody that I was trying to consider, this was somebody I was trying so hard to make sure they are comfortable. Why would the person treat me this way? Why would the person publicly disrespect me? Why the person feel it's okay to do this to me? And I just realized that it could be because from beginning I did not set some kind of boundaries, or I didn't even stand firm in the boundaries that I set, with this person. And doesn't no it doesn't mean we go around expecting people to respect us and treat us like queens and princes. Not everybody knows who you are. But at the same time, there's a tone that we always set with people, and sometimes we have to continually remind them that, oh boy, this is my boundary. Please don't cross it. Like, please respect it. And if you can't respect it, please, I won't take that from you. We need to have that because it's personal respect. Even Jesus Christ said boundaries. Then the other aspect again is the fact that we being a safe space, as much as that is beautiful, is lovely for people to feel comfortable to share things with you. I've had to learn that I am not the source. Jesus is the source. So there should be a limit to the things that I should accommodate. There should be a limit to certain I should not make myself a kind of source for anybody. I should be a redirection to God, because God is the source. God is the source of peace. God is the source of joy. God is the source of love. I gave myself the title Ola, Woman of Love and Peace. I also did a podcast on that. And it was an intentional name I gave myself because I want to be the kind of person that spreads love and peace. But at the same time, I've had to learn that it's not something I should do mechanically. It should flow out from my relationship with God. It should flow out as a result of being inspired by the Holy Spirit to spread love and peace. And sometimes, peace can come only after you fought the war. And that might mean setting boundaries. So sometimes you may have to resolve conflict in order to gain the peace that you need, in order for people to actually appreciate that you are bringing value into their life. And the word of God says that the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous run into it and are safe. Only God can actually give us the peace that we need. So even that safe space that we are going to be to people, both people in our lives, people that we don't know, in our workplace, wherever we are, it should always be that we are continually going back to listening to what God is saying. There are some people that are related with that have had to withdraw from, or I have to limit contact, or I had to limit some certain exposure to, because I've really felt led in my spirit to do so. And I had to come to the point of realization that I am not in control. God is. One other thing I observed about myself that I came to accept that was not a very healthy pattern was always scanning the faces of people around me. in order to make sure, oh, is this person all right? Is this person okay? What can I do to make this person good? You know, in as much as it's good to be observant about people around us, the desire to be in control of other people's emotion is not a healthy trait. People are meant to be responsible for their emotions. Can we be healthy spaces? Can we be concerned? Can we show concern or empathy? Yes. But at the same time, we are not responsible for people's emotions, just as we are responsible for our emotions. I'm sorry for that noise. So at the end of the day, being a safe space is a good thing, but then the source continually has to come from a good source. The source of your desire to be a safe space should always emanate from a good source, and that means always reflecting back on why. Why am I opening myself to this person? Why am I giving this person this space to express this amount? What is my desire or aim to be, influencing this person's life? What am I seeking? Am I seeking a sense of validation for myself to make myself feel good, or to feel a sense of control or value in that person's life? Or have I come to realize that God has put me in this person's life to give them something, and I'm willing to let go at the right time? So that's one of the things that I believe God has been taking me through and I've come to appreciate. And sometimes when I go through some of these experiences, and at the end of the day, they turn out not pleasant, I'll be like, God, why am I going through this? I'm tired. But there was something a conversation I had with God, and I was like, if you're going to take me through these experiences so that I can encourage somebody out there, then that's fine. But it's not been easy. Just like this song we sing, He is in control all over the world. Master Jesus, He is in control. Yes, Jesus is in control. And we need to, even let that affect the decisions that we make when we are relating with people. And it means that sometimes, if it means being firm on certain boundaries that express our value, we express them confidently, knowing that yes, God is in control. We are willing to let God be in control. We are willing to let this relationship into God's hands. And whatever it is that we go through, the emotional traumas we've gone through, even the physical trauma, whatever trauma it is that we have gone through, when we come into Christ, when we present it into Him, He's willing to transform it. He's willing to take us through the process, because at the end of the day, that difficulty you've gone through becomes a message. And until now, I've learned is that God will continually put us through experiences to refine these things we've gone through, so that they can be worthy message to other people. So if the experience that I've had has inspired me to create this content just for you to be part of, then mission accomplished. However, I know I have a responsibility to continually improve and or learn some things and relearn things, and be open to also learning new things, and learning to approach things in the healthiest way as possible. So learn. If you're not someone that's observant of people around you, if you're not empathic, please, you can learn that. You can develop yourself. If you're someone that's empathic, if you're someone that is concerned about people around you, please don't forget that boundaries are important. People will seek to trample something good, and just because you think you're a good person, just because you think you are kind and caring, doesn't mean there are people that will not want to misuse that. There are people that will identify that about you, and they want to misuse that. So the place of setting boundaries is also very important. And yes, some people may fight it. Some people may even blackmail you, make you feel bad for setting boundaries. But at the end of the day, you need to protect and guard every good thing in your life. Yes. The fact that you're safe space is something good. The fact that people feel comfortable to share things with you is something good. So you have the responsibility to make sure that you guard it. Because if you don't guard it and you allow people to trample or misuse that opportunity, it in turn affects you. I've had to experience that. There are times when you at the end of the day you'll be like, I won't care for people again. I will not be concerned about people again, because of how continuously you've experienced certain unpleasant things with people. But it's your responsibility to guard that thing. It's a gift that God has given you, or it's a part of you that you've been exposed more than other people. So you have the responsibility to guide it. You have the responsibility to make sure that under God you are actually protecting that peace that God has given you. So yes, did this vlog bless you, please do not hesitate to share it to somebody, to give it a thumbs up, and to give a comment. Give your comment on what has been shared, and check the link on my bio to be in to experience other things that has been shared. Um, um, I really know that God is very invested in our lives. He doesn't waste any experiences that we go through. As long as you are willing to surrender it to Him, as long as we are open and we are humble to learn, you cannot please everybody. And it's just the reality of life. But you have a responsibility to develop yourself, to work on things about you that are not good, things that God has revealed to you by His word, by the Spirit, and by through people. You have the responsibility to work on that. But at the end of the day, if you are a good person, or if you have the right intentions, it's a matter of time. It will tell. Even if you are misunderstood, like one of the things I've had to accept, that if people are misunderstanding me, how better can I express myself? So we are still on that journey of learning how to really express ourselves in a way that people can easily understand. And if at the end of the day they don't still understand, they still misinterpret, God will vindicate. God will vindicate. Let me just put it that. But at the end of the day, let me just leave this keyword. Guard what God has given you. Guard the good things that God has given you. Guard the good things in your life. Set up boundaries when necessary. At the end of the day, it's not just for you, it's for other people are more that will be blessed by what you have. And what you have shared. So this, like I said, if this has blessed you, please stay still like. And until next time on this channel, continue to stay safe and God bless. Bye bye.